Hi guys, welcome back to the workshop, and this is the next instalment of Project A, a flying wing experiment. If you're just watching this video for the first time, or watching this channel for the first time, please give us a like and a thumbs up and a subscribe at the bottom. It's all greatly appreciated. Up here I'll put a link to the start of this series of videos so you can follow the whole thing through from start to finish, if you ever get to the finish. Since the last video, I think in the last video I made a cutout in here for the battery to go at the back. The battery's going to sit in here to give us balance, if you can see that, something like that. It's a little bit oversized in length, just because that's where the receiver's going to sit as well. But since then, I've actually glued onto the bottom ply plate to sort of cover in the bottom, but to also give it a bit more strength for the batteries to be secured to. I also spoke about the tank arrangement. Now, I've got these little 2-ounce tanks. These are Dubro tanks. The problem with these is when they're sitting that way, the pipe's going to be coming straight out the front, so it's going to be quite compact, should we say, against the back of the firewall in here. Previously I've used some Sullivan tanks, which are actually slanted at the front, so the pipes actually come up at like 45 degrees. I've ordered 2 of those, 2 or 3 of those anyway, and they're coming, but I don't want to make the cutout for the tank bay until they're here, so I can make it a nice snug fit. So that part's on hold. While I was waiting, I thought I'd give the engine a run up, which I would show you just now, but it's on the test bench. It was an engine that I got off my dad, which I think he picked up in a job lot of engines. I don't think he ever ran it. It felt a bit notchy when I got it. After getting some fuel into it and eventually getting it running, it now feels like it's just caster build up. It's just gummed up a little bit. The bearings are smooth as silk. But the engine has somewhere got a major air leak, because to get it running, you can get it running at the top end on the main needle, fine, but to get it to throttle properly, adjusting the low end needle, the low end needle's got to be screwed all the way in, as in like fully shut off, for it to idle properly. And that's a bit of a problem, because then you've got no adjustment at all. My initial thought, it took me like 3 hours of trying to get it to run, to actually get it to run and to figure out what the problem was, and it was getting dark. So what I'm going to do, so that this project can carry on, in my engine box, or my spare engine box, I'm sure I've got another 12, another SC12, which I'm going to dig out. I'll get that onto the bench, onto the engine bench, and get that running, make sure that's all good, and then I can see about how it's going to fit up into here. I don't know if I said previously as well, I think I did, the firewall that I put in, or the spar firewall assembly, I actually miscalculated where it's meant to be, and it's actually just about 10mm too far back now from where I intended it to be. But the mount that's on here, the plastic mount, has got enough length in the front for me to bring the engine forwards to the position where it's going to be. So that shouldn't cause a problem at all. So yeah, hopefully next bit you'll see will be the second engine being run up, making sure that's all good. And then I'll come back once I've made a bit more progress. Hopefully the tanks will have arrived by the time I do the next stage of this video. But until then, we'll see how it gets on. Okay guys, so this is the 12 glow engine that I'm planning on using in the wing. I mentioned it wasn't running properly. The idle needle had to be just about screwed all the way home. The carb is currently just, I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but the carb is off the engine just now, because my first port of call is to check the O-ring that sits between the carb and the crankcase. Taking that O-ring off, before I took the carb out, I did notice that the carb didn't look fully seated compared to, I mean, this is another a 12 that I've got. Again, I don't know how well you'll be able to see. Between the crankcase and the body of the carb, you can't see any sort of gap or any noticeable gap. You can actually see like a black line of the O-ring on this engine. So I've taken it out, given it a good once over, and I felt like a crusty bit on it, which could have just been like a build up of caster or something. The O-ring still seems intact, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reseat it into the crankcase, put the carb back on and just see how it sits. If it goes in fine and sits in fine, we might have found the problem. But if not, we have to dig a bit deeper, I think. So that sits in there nicely, actually. Right, carb going back on. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. That's a nice fit. And pressing it all the way home. Now there's no visual gap, so I've got a funny feeling we might have found the issue. So just nip that up before I forget. It's taking quite a bit of tightening for some reason. I really want to strip the threads. There we go, that's just tight. Nothing's moving. So that, I've got a funny feeling, I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that has been the problem. Letting air in. Unfortunately, as I'm filming this on a Sunday mid-afternoon, I don't really fancy going outside and running this, or trying to run this engine up, for not wanting to disturb the neighbours. But as soon as I get an opportunity, I'll run this up again, make sure it's all good. If there's still a problem with this engine, I've got this engine that I know is a good runner because I know the history of this one. This one's probably only had less than a handful of tanks through it, so that will need running in. But yeah, it'd be good to get to the bottom of this. Hopefully it'll run nicely. So as you can see from that bit of footage there, engine's running. It's still not perfect, it's still rich at the bottom end. I don't want to run it too much here at the house just now, I don't want to upset the neighbours around, so I'll either leave it on the bench and take it with me to the flying field next time and run it up there properly, or just stick it into the model. It runs fine at full power. It's just a throttling issue that might be a problem. Worst case scenario, as I said before, is I'll take that engine out. That engine that was in the footage, that was the one I had issues with the running. I have got another 12 which I know runs fine, which I'll put into that if I need to. I've also found out literally the last 10 minutes the tanks that I ordered now over a week ago. Sent an email to the supplier, asked them where they were. They said, oh, they've been sent out, they're still in transit to you, here's the tracking number. Looked at the tracking number and they weren't sent. I'm filming this on a Wednesday. They weren't sent until Monday. I know I ordered them last Wednesday, so it's a week since I ordered them. I got a dispatch note on the Friday saying they've been sent, and now I found out they weren't actually sent until Monday. And then while I'm querying this via email with the company here in the UK, they said, well, we only had one, so we've only sent one to you. So now I've got to go through PayPal and request a refund, and then try and find somewhere else where I can buy another tank. So cheers Blackburn Models for great customer service. Not. If anybody from there is watching, well, have a think about how you do things and how you tell people about what's going on. As an example, there's another model shop here in the UK. I ordered something online via eBay, which is where they were selling this particular item, and I had it in my hands within 24 hours. I've ordered from them before, this other company, and if there's been an issue, they've either emailed me or even phoned me and said, Mr. Eaves, this is the problem, how can we sort it out? And it's been great, it's been sorted. But when you get a company that almost lies to you, not good. So, as it stands at the moment, I'm still waiting on a tank to arrive. If one arrives, I need one right now, that's fine. But I wanted to make a pair of these, or have two of these flying, so that me and you could try and knock each other out of the sky with them. So, we'll see what happens. Bit dejected right now about it. Anyway, it'll be what it'll be, and when it'll be. One good thing though, which I don't have seen recently, big clear up's been done. So all the way over here, got the who's that? That's Ewan's Norris. If you haven't seen, I'll put a link up here to what I've been doing with these. And yeah, this is being cleared for, well, one, because it needed done, but also I've got another project coming which I want to crack on with straight away as soon as it arrives. And I might need all of this space, and even like up past you behind here in the camera. I might have to move the camera as well. So yeah, for now, we'll see what happens when this tank arrives. If you're liking this build series, give us a thumbs up down the bottom here somewhere, and this side is definitely give us a subscribe. Tick the bell notification, you'll get a message or an email when I put the next video up. Feedback, comments, it's all greatly appreciated on this build, or any build, any video I do. I do read them all, and I do try and reply to all of them. But yeah, until the next time, I'll see you again soon.